touch anything in case you want to dust for prints. Smart thinking. Was anything else taken? Not that we're aware of. We checked the gun case, jewelry box, desk drawers where we keep the checkbook, that sort of thing. Everything else seems to be here.
They were only interested in the presents, his wife concurred. Hot chocolate already forgotten, she had taken to wringing her hands. Brash jotted down notes in his trusty little notebook. It traveled with him everywhere he went, tucked into his shirt pocket.
Take me through this evening. We need to establish some sort of timeline.
Well, let's see. I got off work around 4. I stopped by Granny Bert Cessna's to leave a donation for the angel tree. Bless her heart, that woman is over 80 and still as active as ever. She told me she's going to Vegas to attend the National Finals Rodeo with her new beau, Sticker Pierce. They're doing some big award for him, being as he is a rodeo legend and all. Glory be! Anyway, on the way home, I spotted Glitter Thompson walking her dog, so I stopped to chat for a few minutes. Poor dear is having trouble with her bursitis again. So I must have wound up getting home about 5:15 or so. Since I forgot to lay anything out for dinner, we decided to go out for supper when Larry came home.
Brash waded through all the useless chatter to find a kernel or two of helpful information. Were the gifts still under the tree when you arrived home at 5:15?
Yes. The first thing I do when I get home is turn on the tree lights. I thought of getting one of those automatic timers, but I'm not sure I trust them.
What time did Larry get in?
5:38, same as every day. You can set your clock by this man.
For the first time since Brash had arrived, Vanessa smiled. She patted her husband's shoulder as she stood over him, too nervous to sit. And neither of you saw anything unusual? No strangers about, no cars out front, no unscheduled deliveries? Brash clarified. No, everything seemed normal, Larry answered. What time did you leave for the restaurant?
Around 6:30, and we called you the minute we got in, about 10 minutes ago.
So that narrows down the window of opportunity to about an hour and 35 minutes. Larry nodded. That sounds about right. Vanessa, do you have a list of everything under the tree?
Of course. I keep a detailed list of what I buy for each person, and I check each item off as I wrap it. I'll be happy to get it for you.
Fine. But I'd like to ask a few more questions before you do. Have either of you noticed anything strange over the past several days or weeks? Again, any strangers about, cars out front, deliveries, anything disturbed in the yard, anything at all? I don't believe so.
Glory be, not that I can think of.
How long has your tree been up?
We always put it up Thanksgiving evening while the kids are here to help pull things out of the attic. Larry's shoulder gives him a fit, you know, rheumatism.
Old football injury, her husband claimed, rotating his arm as if to disprove his wife's claims. Brash had been a few years behind the other man in school, but he knew Larry Hutchins did little more than warm the bench. The most strenuous thing he ever did during a football game was to carry the water cooler and hoist it in victory when the Cotton Kings won, dumping its contents on the coach's head. Himself Cotton King royalty, Brash chose to ignore the exaggeration. Instead, he turned to Vanessa. How long have the gifts been under the tree?
I couldn't start wrapping without paper, of course, and I didn't decide on my theme until after Black Friday.
Theme? She bobbed her head.
I do a different theme of paper each year, you know, and this time it was snowflakes. You should have seen the tree. It was particularly gorgeous this year, with at least 6 different snowflake papers in all different colors. Her eyes turned misty as she clasped her hands over her heart and mourned the lost beauty. The monetary loss hadn't been mentioned yet, most likely because she was still in the emotional phase of the theft. As soon as I settled on a theme, I went to Brian and bought all my paper.
When was that?
Let's see. It wasn't Monday, and I don't think it was Tuesday, because I had a weight-off meeting. I had church on Wednesday night and played bunco on Thursday. She scrunched her face as she ran through her week. She had a brief argument with herself about whether she had missed the Wednesday night service until she remembered Brother Greer's lesson. She even went